Okay, my everyday carry to every job. I have an installation kit, but this is my basic rekey, basic lockout kit. It has almost everything I need. I love the Victor packs, the Veto Pro Pacs. This has been, constant use for a couple years now. Still looks pretty good. I've been wearing out the other stuff. I do like my other tool cases, especially the pack outs, but this is what I use every single day, and I'll just show you what I have in. So if you're this is the must-have tools. Now this is what I like. Everybody's got slightly different stuff, but this is what I have on me every day. So of course I have my Milwaukee M18. I have my little screwdriver drill. I love that. I got my Metapro. This is like the general kit for everything. And this is the hex kit, and this is the security bit set. So I find those three, but I've just started using the Klein, and I'm finding this will probably replace that for now, and there's a chance this goes into the secondary kit. I can put some special bits in this. It's 14 in 1. What I really like about this is it just pulls out and I can go put it right into my cordless screwdriver. So that's kind of probably going to replace that. I'm still testing. I always have Triflo. That's my lubricant of choice. Of course, my pick set. I have another video on that. I throw in a lab pin kit, and what I use for my lab, I have my followers, different followers, my tweezers, little rotary rasp for grinding out door strikes when they're sticking a little bit too much. So this is basically my pin kit, lab pin kit, and this. Extra drills. Oh, I got to put these in there. I bought a bunch of, what did I get? 3/16 for drilling locks. I got some 1/4 inch. I like my Wera tools. So I always find the flathead. I can bang on it in the back there. Little tiny flatheads. Just like the Weras. That's kind of like my go-to screwdriver now. And of course, my Knipex, the little one and the big one. Boy, these are lifesavers. I got a bigger one in my other kit. Again, this is just my carry-on. I always have a Pry Bar, just a little cheapy piece. You never know. Now this one, because I may replace that kit, it's they're inexpensive, and I have a bigger kit with almost everything in it. But this is just a security bit set. So I'm thinking I'm getting rid of 2, keeping the Klein, and having the security bit set in there, just to make it that little bit lighter. I always like my Mac, my awl. Sometimes you get those sticky locks that refuse to cut loose. Got a couple little picks, help remove broken keys. I got to get a better one of these. I got a needle nose. These have just been with me for a long time. They're not even, what are they? Geez, these are from Sears. I've just had them forever. I'm going to replace it pretty soon now. I got another little prying piece. My little, mostly if I'm impressioning. I got another kit for impressioning, but sometimes just got to grab on something like that. My hex key set, just quick, easy, fast to grab. And you know what? Again, I know this is for mostly opening a car. Sometimes you got to get that little bit of extra leverage. It's plastic. It levers a bit. Nice little tool. Chisel. Just got to mortar something out. And these are some more of my entry tools. If I got to slip a lock, this is just a painter's roller cleaner. You know, I can get these in the door. I do a lot of lockouts, wellness checks, so I got a little bit of everything, sort of open stuff. Of course, my knippets. Besides cutting metal, this is mostly for tail pieces of deadbolt. Sometimes the tail piece is too long. I just got to clip it off that little bit. That just slices through it like butter. I've had a whole pile of different stuff, and that is the best. Another pry bar. My time to build some new ones. I got my Lloyds for slipping locks. Now this is pretty handy, mostly on some of the older locks, some of the Sargents, some of the old Wisers. My Circlips remover, it's adjustable, and I got a new one coming. I don't use this that much, but you still run across it. Depends what buildings you have. There's a lot of commercial buildings and hardware. This would come in really handy. I got a new one coming, video coming soon. And finally, I've had this for like a zillion years. It's my little hammer. Just enough to give me a little tap. And I have a bigger hammer in my installation kit, but I've had this for like a zillion years. Cut it down, fits in really nice. You can always add more, but this is my recommendation for new locksmiths, and also locksmiths have been doing this for a while. This is my kit. Everybody's kit is slightly different, depends on what you're doing and what building you're in. I do, this is my rekey and part of my entry kit. So basically of course I have my picks. There's videos on that. I have my lab mini kit. I have the bigger kit in the truck, but this is what I have in my carry-on. You know, you've got to rekey a lock when you're there, just have it. You should have a mini kit. Circlips, snap-on. Don't run across them as much anymore, but still do. It's a lifesaver. Got my little vice grips. Got my knippets. I use it for cutting the back of tail pieces on deadbolts, but also it's great for cutting down screws. So this is just perfect. I have my two knippets. These are fantastic, unbelievable. This is time for an upgrade. I've had this a long, long time. I got to get something with a little bit more grip for when the deadbolt latches fail. Got pry bars. You sometimes need that little bit of extra. Got a 1-inch chisel. This is my hammer. I have an installation kit, but again, this is just what I have on me. I always find my little dental picks, my little hooks to get broken keys out, bits and pieces. Again, another type of pry bar, plastic. It's made mostly to open up cars. That's part of my rekey kit. Again, this is if I have to slip the door, slip the lock, this is some basic tools, very easy. This is probably the most handy. It's just a painter's roller cleaner. Security bit set. This is some popular screwdrivers I like. This is probably one of my favorite. It's a Wera. I'm going to hammer away at the back of here if I got to get something, bang something out of the way, open up the deadbolt once you've removed the housing. This slips the lock back. My little awl, just for sometimes you get that stubborn lever lock that won't come out. I've got for my Adams right, I have two here, only these two right here for the screws, removing the mortise cylinders. Now these three tools I've had for forever, and I'm just experimenting between the Klein kit and the security bit set. I'll probably remove these two, and I'll just get down to this one here for the hex set. I got Triflo. It's my lubricant of choice. I love it. I got my Milwaukee M18, and I got my Milwaukee screwdriver, my M12 screwdriver. Little rotary rasp for going on here. It helps sometimes opening up the deadbolt, the strike. Hex key set. I got the other one somewhere. I don't know where it is. I got the metric and imperial. And of course, I got my drills, assorted drills. And that's my basic kit that all fits inside my Veto Pro Pac. And again, you can always carry more, and I could carry less, but this is what I use every day. And then I add on if I have a lockout. I got another little Veto Pro Pac I add on when I'm doing a lockout. But again, this can do most of everything I need done, except for I have a separate kit for installation of deadbolts and locks. So again, this is what I recommend every beginner locksmith. Get your basic tools. You should own your tools. I've said this before. When you're first starting out in this business, buy your tools, buy good quality stuff. These are not cheap, but they're going to last you forever. Get good quality tools, get good stuff, and you'll be happy with what you got. And again, it doesn't matter if you go DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee. I'm really heavy into the Milwaukee stuff, into their pack outs and all their other tools, as well as my grinders. It's just easier standardizing to one tape. Now, the one thing I don't have on here, which I take with me for every night call, is my flashlights. Flashlights, yes, that's something should have in this picture. And I like the headlamps, and I like the Fenix just because they throw a good light. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, and tell me what I should add that's not going to make it too heavy. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Also, visit my website, and you can see what online locksmith training I have for beginners, intermediate, and advanced, as well as my covert methods of entry and my non-destructive methods of entry.